Yeah, how much should I expect to pay? That's a good question, right? So you should expect headshots to range from lowest like $150 to about $1,000, and that's not including any add-on things that will come when taking headshots.
It might, if it's the 1,000, it might.
The amount of money is going to range by photographer that you're working with. As we said before, there's some very well-known photographers that charge a lot more. And the price is depending on the amount of looks you're gonna get in the shot. So a change of look is simply a change of hairstyle, a change of makeup, or a change of clothes. That delineates a different look. The other thing that you wanna think of in terms of price would be makeup and hair. If you can do your own makeup and hair, fantastic. You do want to remember though, this is an investment. You're already paying a certain amount for your headshot, so you want to look nice. You don't want to be stressed out about how your face is looking and how your hair is looking. So that ranges in price. So sometimes you can get two people, a makeup and a hair person, for about $150, $175, sometimes a little lower. And sometimes you have to pay the makeup and the hair person separate, which is about $300. It could be $150 for each person. And you want to be clear on what you want your makeup to look like too. You don't want any variables with that. Bring a photo of yourself, the way you do your makeup, that you really like it, and say, okay, this is how I wear my makeup on a normal day. Yeah. This is how I would do it when I go in for my audition. I want it to look like this. Okay, only a little cleaner and photo ready. You want to make sure you have everything kind of figured out. So those are the prices for makeup and hair. And then another add-on price would be touch-ups. So a photographer usually gives you a couple touch-ups for free. And a touch-up is like, okay, so you're taking your photo and you have a slight blemish, like right on your chin.
That's never happened to me.
Never, I never break out. Like perfect skin over here. Just happens on the day you're taking your photo. You wake up and you have a giant pimple. It's like, great.
Always.
Don't worry, they can fix that with touch-ups.
But you don't want to touch up too much.
No.
You don't want to, if you're
to look like you.
In your 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever, and you have a few lines on your face, keep the lines on your face. They want real people, you know? Doctors have lines on their face. Mm-hmm. You want to be a real person when you go in.
But once again, you want them to recognize you when you walk in the room, so you don't want to touch up everything. But the initial touch-ups will be free. Unadded, if you do like maybe 4 or 5 photos, it might get to be about $25 to $35 per touch-up, again, ranging with the photographer. You want to know their policies with reshoots. Most photographers are totally fine if they're like, we didn't get the shot, we'll redo it. Some photographers are like, well, we didn't get the shot, we'll redo it, but it'll be half price. You have to kind of see what their policy is. Once you get the photos, you have the retouching and all that, you put that money in. You're also going to be getting hard copy photos, which is another amount of money you're paying. Nowadays, you don't want to get that many because everything's online, but you do want at least 25 to 50 shots on hand at home. And those range in price depending on different places. We have a list of places up on the screen that you can also look at. Those are places that are great to order photos.
So another question we hear a lot is, how many different looks do I need? We're talking about different looks. So you might say, well, I play a cop, but I also might play a dad, and I also might play a husband, let's say. So those are kind of 3 slightly different looks and 3 slightly different changes. You need one solid look, which is like your general look, which is kind of, here's like Camille said, here's me on a really good day. This is just an honest picture of me. If money is not a huge issue and the photographer is willing to do it and you can pay for it, it's good to have 2 or 3 looks. It's good to have a commercial look and what's called a theatrical look. A commercial look tends to be more smiley, like a big open smile showing teeth, very kind of all-American.
It's like Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, Disneyland.
Everything's fantastic.
So that's your commercial look, very like safe kind of picture. And then your theatrical look might have a little more edge to it, usually not a smile showing teeth, a little like mystery, a little secret behind your eyes.
Warmth to the eyes.
Warmth, but still a little like, what's she all about kind of thing. So you definitely want those 2 shots. You definitely want a commercial shot and a theatrical shot. In New York, they call it a legit shot. Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing here. And then how often should I update my photo? That's another good question. The short answer is every 3 years. Enough stuff happens in your life that changes every 3 years that you should get a new shot. Going into that in a little bit more detail, I would say if you gain a lot of weight or you lose a lot of weight,
take a new picture.
Yeah, if you get shorter hair or your hair has grown out really long, get a new photo. So if you're a man, you would want to take one with a beard and one without a beard. So your agent manager has both options.
Yeah.
And then if there's been a significant energy shift in your life, for example, if something fantastic has happened to you and you're just like kind of on top of the world and you've been on top of the world, take another photo, because that energy is going to read in your photo. People are going to see it and they're going to want to cast you. As well as if you've had something kind of difficult in your life, take a new photo too, because that is also, that depth will also read in the photo, and all of that will help you just kind of, people relate more to who you are. And just as a heads up, most often than not, when you do switch agents and managers, they will most often say, we need to get a new headshot photo of you. Do not be discouraged.
Yeah,
this
they all say it
a lot. Sometimes you just need to send them the roll that you've already taken so they can look at other photos that you've taken, and like they can pick something else. That certainly happened to me a few times, especially commercially. One photo didn't work and they called me in a couple weeks. They were like, let's check out the other photos. They checked out the other photos, we switched photos, and I started getting auditions that week.
So the question, what does it mean for a headshot to pop, is one of my favorite questions, because it's so elusive. So like Camille was explaining, in these thumbnails where casting directors are just scrolling down, you know, they're getting 3,000 headshots at a time, and they're page after page, and they're this big, and they're just looking. Who do I want to call in? I can only call in 15 actors for this part, and I've been, you know, submitted 3,000 actors. Who am I going to call in? They're going to call in either somebody that they know, which, you know, nepotism is alive and well, or they're going to call in a headshot that pops at them. So how do you make your headshot pop? It's such a hard question, and it's such an important question. So I think the first thing is what's one thing that Camille was talking about, which is the eyes. You know, you really want, like, you want your eyes to really be saying something, and something strong. And the way to do that is, as an actor, you probably know this, but just subtext. So when you're taking those pictures, be thinking about something important. I was taking headshots once and somebody walked past me who was actually a famous actor, as often happens here in LA, and he leaned in and he said, it's all about saying I love you with your eyes. And I thought, God, that's so true. And like, you know, just something alive in your eyes and exciting in your eyes. So there's that. Another really important thing is color. So what you're wearing is very important, and the color behind you is really important. So if you have a good photographer, he or she will help you with that. But one trick that I like is to wear the same color that's the color of your eyes. It does something kind of interesting on camera, I think, and it really ties it all together. Or a cool color behind you. So if you're wearing like an orange shirt and you have like a green background, that can definitely pop. The other thing that I think really makes your headshot pop is being like a tiny bit closer. So you can picture, like, if you're looking at all these thumbnails and somebody's headshot is kind of here, which some people do, like from the waist up, and then there's a headshot that's like just a tiny bit tighter, and I'm really seeing that person's face, it's gonna, like, my eye is gonna go to that headshot differently than that I have to like kind of squint.
One other way to think about popping your photo is just physically how you take the photo. So as actors, we're used to being on camera. We're used to having something pick us up as we're moving. Well, the still camera is us just standing. So you want to move forward a little bit in the shot, kind of like this.
Yeah. You don't want to lean back because
you want to move into the camera a little bit, and by moving into the camera, that'll completely change the photo. And a lot of photographers will ask you to do this, or they'll ask you to do this, like weird things like this, and you won't understand why. That's why, because when you pull forward into the camera is actually able to pick up more of what you're giving it. And that's the whole idea. You have to give a lot to the camera when it's a still camera. It's slightly different than what you're used to. So you want to think pull forward, and the other thing you want to think of is you want to look away from the camera and then look back when you're ready. So you look away and then you look back, and then you look down or whatever and you look back, and you're looking up with your eyes. So it's literally like this. And the camera is going to keep taking photos of you. And what that does is it helps you not get tired around your eyes and around your mouth. You know how you start getting into that place where you're like, take the photo now. Like that's what can happen. So that gives you another sort of it releases the tension in your mouth and your eyes. So what Jen is saying, have a story in your head, someone you love in the camera, even a mantra of, why am I so castable? Why does everyone love me? God, I'm so amazing. You just want to keep that energy really up, and then you want to pull forward, look down, and look up. Those are just some techniques to get your photo to pop. And by you doing that, by looking away and looking back, that's you saying to the photographer, okay, I'm ready for you to take my photo.
Yeah, it's a communication between you and the photographer that he or she will appreciate.
They will really appreciate it, and it will keep you in control of your shoot. And as an actor, the more in control you are, the more it will help you.
Yeah.
So, how do I prepare for my headshot? Okay, like a month before, you've made your appointment with your headshot photographer. You're all excited. You're like, what do I do? Okay, research down to the basics. What Jen was saying, watch TV, put down the characters that would look like you, look online to the sites that we showed you before, find the photos that you like, find the outfits that you like, and write a list. Oh, I really like it with that sweater. Okay, there's a mom shot with sweaters. So when I was starting to look for clothes that I needed to get for my own headshot shoot, I went shopping. And what I did was I looked up Julie Bowen from Modern Family. She plays Claire, and in all of the photos that you'll see that are taken of her for promos for Modern Family, she wears this very light colored sweater. It'll be like a lavender sweater or like a light blue sweater, which is mom. So what did I do? I went out and I bought a couple of sweaters that worked with my hair color and my skin tone that essentially worked for me, but that was saying, okay, this is my mom shot. And if my agent is submitting me for a mother and that's what I need to look like, here you go, it's very obvious. So you wanna do your shopping. If you don't have a lot of money, that's okay. Go out, buy some clothes, keep the tags on, and return them out.
I can't believe you're suggesting that.
You
should totally do that.
You should totally do that. I'm just putting it out there because I just want to say I don't have a lot of business outfits, but you are going to need some for auditions. And if you're auditioning a lot for commercials, and you're going to use them a lot for commercials especially, you will want to have some on hand. But until then,
although keeping the outfit is also good because then you can wear the outfit to the audition and you really look like the person in the picture.
Yeah. But if you
can't, you can't.
It's totally fine. Just return it. So you have your clothes, you have everything picked out, and then you want to start pumping yourself up. So about a week before your audition, you want to start taking really good care of yourself, okay? And that means don't go out drinking every single night. Don't go to the beach and get a sunburn. Remember, this is a huge investment in your career. It's a lot of money. So you don't want to go out and just throw it away. If you have a lot of friends that make you feel good, those are the ones you want to hang out with. If you have some that stress you out a little bit, maybe don't hang out with them for that week. Just push it to the next week, maybe. Also, drink a lot of water, get a lot of rest. Don't eat anything that's gonna make you puffy. Just stay away from the chips and the French fries for that week. As difficult as that may be,
it's very difficult.
Do it. I know it's really hard. Maybe even cheese for some people.
Oh, come on.
I know. I have to stay away from cheese, but maybe you don't. The night before your headshot shoot, have your clothes ready. Have them either in your car if you can put them in your car, or have them downstairs or wherever close to the door where you're walking out, so it's all ready. Have that photo of you, have your makeup, all extra makeup that you might need for men and for women.
Have your computer so that you can show the photographer the website that you're trying to emulate pictures of, if that is the case.
And Jen actually says this, so I'm gonna just say it really quickly. Jen has this great
thing. I love to be quoted.
I'm quoting Jen.
I'm so excited.
Jen is
What
quoted.
Genius thing did I say?
She's brilliant.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So the brilliant Jen said, write a little story for yourself. So create a little character that will help you get into the mood. So you've already done your research and you've looked up these people on TV, you know the shots you're gonna take, you're really specific, you have your outfits. And by the way, it's always good to know the outfits you're wearing because some photographers are great at picking out outfits and some aren't. They're great at taking a photo, but they're not great at typing you, and you have to just take control of that part of it. So you have your outfits and you've watched TV and you write a little story. You're like, okay.
Like a little tiny paragraph.
Tiny paragraph. You can even share it with a photographer if you want to say like, this is what I'm going for. So you have that all written down. And then my favorite exercise to do is the morning of the shoot, you know, you have everything ready so you don't have to worry about that. You printed out the directions or you have the directions on your phone, no variables. And then the morning of your shoot, get up and do something that makes you feel really, really, really good. So something that I do now is I write down 100 things that bring me joy. And it can be anything. It can be like, I love to go to the beach. I love my sister. I love the sun. Whatever it is that starts bringing my energy up. If you don't want to write 100, you don't have to. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. If you want to say it out loud, you can say it out loud. But just think like the more you walk in with your energy kind of up and resonating and in this really good place, you're going to get those pictures that are saying that and are bringing that message forward, and people are gonna want to know you and they're gonna want to cast you and they're gonna wanna work with you.
For sure. So we have a few do's and don'ts for headshot taking that we'd love to share with you.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Always research your photographer.
Never shoot with someone who you don't have a good feeling about.
Always get a good night's sleep before a shoot.
Never wear clothes that make you feel uncomfortable.
Always make your own inspirational playlist and bring that to the shoot.
Never doubt the uniqueness and authenticity that you as the actor bring to the shoot.
Always meet the photographer in a safe and public place.
Never feel shy about asking questions before, during, and after a shoot.
And always remember that you are the boss.
So guys, in closing, we've thrown a lot of information at you, and always remember you can join our membership to ask us specific questions about any of these subjects that we've covered. We're here for you.
And just remember that you deserve to be here and you can do it. And ask yourself, why not you?
Yeah, why not you? Right?
Yeah.
Why not?